Hello and welcome to the Early Bird Special with your hosts Carole Montgomery and Julia Scotti. And now, here's Carole Montgomery.
Hello, here I am. Hello, hello. Oh, what a day. What a week. What year are we in, everybody? What year? What's happening? We're in what is it? March, April, May, June, July. We're in month 5 of the lockdown, and yes, it's it doesn't seem like anything's getting better. I'm curious when people come out, when we open up to questions. I'm curious about whether anyone is doing any traveling, because a lot of people. What this question was posed on Facebook. A lot of people were like going, well, if you come here, do you have to quarantine? And are people going to quarantine? I think the same people who are not wearing the masks, probably not going to be quarantined. I'm going to go out on a limb there. I think that's what's happening. So, we've been out. We've been, New York City is coming back more and more now, and it's kind of odd. I have to tell you, no offense to the tourists, but I really kind of like it without the tourists. It's quieter. It's basically all New Yorkers and all of the homeless and drug addicts. So it's really nice. Crime is back to probably back into the 70s. So if you've got your 70s boots, start walking. Anyway, once again, I'm rambling. I would love to bring on we have an amazing guest. We will bring her on in a few minutes, Jessica Kirson, who I adore. Let me bring on my co-host, who we weren't sure if it was going to happen because she lost power, and we'll talk all about that. So please welcome everybody, Julia Scotti. Yay!
Hello? Anybody out there? Hello? It's me.
It's basically you and me, Julia, and Jesse's in the green room.
Oh, Christ. I got no power. I'm hot. My fish went bad. 24 hours, no power. We made it through Superstorm Sandy and didn't lose power. This thing, an hour and a half, no power.
So here's my question to you: Will they charge you for the electricity they didn't give you this month?
I'm sending them a bill for all the fish I'm losing. I went out and I started Weight Watchers. See, no good ever comes from a diet. I bought like $150 worth of fish, and it's all gone now. It's all bad. You know what? I'm having eggplant parm tonight for dinner from Nona's up the street. All right. I'm sorry. I don't mean.
Wait a minute. So why couldn't you just cook up all the fish?
You're going to cook $150 worth of fish? And then what am I going to do with it once it's cooked? I'm a fish fry? I'm not running for office. Yeah, come on down. I'm having a fish fry.
Okay, well, I would have come over and had some fish.
Now you tell me.
Yeah, what kind of fish?
What kind of fish? I had cod I was going to make tonight in my air fryer. And I had salmon, which to die for in the air fryer.
I love salmon. I love that.
Oh, girl. And I'm telling So anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure. So, welcome, everybody, as Julia and I discuss fish, which is, ironic in many ways. So let's because we have to do a little bit shorter version of what we used to. But
sure.
So I want to bring on our special guest. I have known this woman for so many years, and I have been a fan of hers, first of all. And I love working with her because she never doesn't bring it. You know what I mean? She's one of the pros in the business. And not that we're not pros, but I mean, she's just consistently a great comic. And I think it was October, she'll tell me, she premiered her Comedy Central special, Bill Burr Presents. And I was actually staying at a friend's house dog sitting. And I turned it on, and you know a comic's good when other comics laugh at their jokes. And it was such a great special. And I was so excited for her, and because she deserves all the accolades that she's getting, because she's somebody who's been in business forever, and she's a real pro, and she's a sweetheart, and she's a good friend. So let's welcome Jessica Kirson. Hey!
Oh, hi, Jessica. Oh, she put bricks in where
You have a
oh,
brick
dude.
wall.
I can't believe I figured it out, but I
That-
figured out getting a brick wall.
Wow. I gotta get me one of those.
It's right on the thing.
On what
On-
thing?
It's
streaming,
on the like this, whatever this thing is we're using.
Oh,
StreamYard.
really? Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I found it on StreamYard.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Wow. You
I
should-
don't know what's
We've
going
only been doing this show for what, 3 months now, and we didn't know that.
I don't
so.
even know. I don't know if it's because of the green screen or if anyone.
No, it's fantastic.
It's so good. So Jesse, how are you? How you been holding up in this fabulous
I'm
lockdown?
horrible. I'm absolutely horrible, and I'm grateful. I'm so many things. I'm grateful because I know it could be so much worse, but it's been horrific, very upsetting. Just the loss of not performing, of not knowing what our future is going to be like, and not knowing anything about what's going to happen with stand-up clubs staying open. Just not performing, not doing my art. It's my therapy, so it's been really hard.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Julie.
No, I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. I have this, and I know it's insane, but I have this feeling like when I was in the hospital, I had heart surgery, Justin, and I actually died. Right, I died, and this is my hell. Like there's no
I was
escape
going to
from
say
it.
you're so lucky that you died at one point. Yeah.
No, I don't know. This is the way it's going to be for all eternity. Now I'm dead.
Oh no, go.
I'm dead. I'm
When
dead.
you were talking about the fish, I swear I'm so out of it. I thought it was a fish tank.
No.
I thought you had fish in a huge
That's
tank.
what I do
all
in
died.
the quarantine. I sit there with a little pole in the tank, and I caught a cod. Ooh. No, it's just please with the fish.
I know.
It's killing me.
She called me to tell me about the fish even before we did the show. So now I've heard the fish story twice.
Any Jew or any Jewish person or Italian person is going to tell that story for 11 years.
And it's going to grow.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to grow to,
Oh, sure.
I went to the ocean. I caught the
That's right.
To become whole.
I stayed on the surf all night.
I gave everyone the fish mouth to mouth. I kept them alive until they could die. Yeah.
So it's, everyone's got the same feeling. It's such a, and we've all done, like I was very anti the Zoom shows, and then I did a Zoom show and it was like, oh, it wasn't that bad. It's
right.
But then we have to talk about the outdoor shows, Jess. Tell us about the truck, please. I want to hear about the pickup truck.
Well, I've done a drive-in. That's tough, where there's just people in their cars watching me. I don't know why, but it's tough for me. But the other night I did a show in Queens, which was packed, and I had to get onto a truck. I mean, I'm not saying this just to be funny. I don't, whatever it is, because I'm older, I'm heavy, I'm Jewish. I was not looking forward to climbing on a big tire to get onto the back of a pickup truck. Okay. And I don't feel bad about it. It was an enormous tire. I said,
nor should you.
How do I get on? They're like, you have to climb on the tire and then onto the truck. I'm like, I have to crawl. I can't climb on a tire. So I had to ask Sean Patton, the MC, to help me on. And I performed, and I said, honestly, the only reason I feel like I would ever be on this truck or attached to it is because I'm Jewish and gay. I'd be in the South, like tied to it on a rope with them driving around town. That's literally what I thought of when I saw the truck.
Let me ask you a question on the drive-in. First of all, where did you find the drive-in?
Well, I didn't. It's behind a diner in Queens. You stand on a stage.
Screen? There's a screen there?
No, there's a stage, and it's behind a diner, and then people drive into a parking lot. And
okay.
They watch you. Look at Carol's face. And they watch you. If I make it out alive of this thing, I swear it'll be a miracle.
I just picture you on roller skates with
myself,
the tray in the parking lot, going from car to car on roller skates.
No, the reason I have that face is because I'm doing it next month.
Well, we both.
Listen, I have to tell you, it was great because there was a crowd. Like there were people that were in front of me laughing. So I'm joking a little. Listen, I was very hot. I mean, every time I've done it, it's the middle of the summer. I was, and I'm always in black. And I'm just standing there. But it was great to see people laughing and to connect with them, because as you know, the Zoom shows are so disconnected.
Yeah.
They're good, but it's different.
Well, you're doing, aren't you doing Soul Joel show in the comedy festival, Jess? Aren't you doing it next week? Yeah. Well, we're doing it on next Monday. And
you'll love it, Jess.
And
you'll love it.
You'll love it because it's outdoors. It's a real stage. It's a real microphone. You know, the audience. The only thing was funny is when I looked out and everyone is in lawn chairs and they have coolers. It looked like a Little League meeting. Do you know what I mean? It was, but they could not have been more gracious.
They're very cool.
I used to do the Michigan's Women's Festival with all music. I mean, the women walk around naked, no shirts, no bra. Like, I performed for thousands of women just with no bra. I'll never.
They wouldn't let me in. I wasn't allowed in there. Remember?
Oh yeah, I remember when that whole thing happened. I mean, I didn't know if you tried to be a part of it, but they were.
No, I didn't try to be a part of it. I wasn't going to go there, but But they set up a camp outside of.
I heard all about that. Yeah.
So, but I didn't go to that either.
It's funny.
So one of the things we love to do, we obviously we want to talk about what's going on now, but we always love to find out from the pros, the people who've been around, and everyone who's done the show said that you got to give us a worst gig. Like, what's the worst gig you've ever done? Do you have one of those? I'm sure you do.
I mean, I have a lot. Like, it depends on what it is. I've had bottles thrown at me. Like, I did one private thing, which was horrific, at a bar in the East Village. It was downstairs, and it was for prosecutors, New York City prosecutors. Oh, Jesus. They were wasted. And it sounds so crazy. I was on a dance floor and I stood in the middle of them. Can you imagine this?
I can.
And they were all standing around me, and it was literally like The Accused.
Yeah.
I mean, they were screaming and going, "Yeah, show us your tits." I mean, it was, I'm pretty tough like you guys. I can handle, but I was so devastated by that in that situation.
Wow.
And it was good money. So I kind of felt like I had to stay there and do it. But I'll never forget, my girlfriend was in the car and I came out sobbing. It's never happened to me. I was crying hysterically. I literally felt like I was being attacked. So I told Karen Bergreen, who is married to, he was a prosecutor at the time. And it was just, anyway, they had known the guys, and it was crazy. It was crazy that I had to go through that. But I've also, the worst ones are probably for older Jewish crowds. Just when I've bombed so bad and they just walk out in the middle of the set, like, this isn't funny. It's just not okay.
I've had one of those. It was a retirement.
It's been horrible.
Well, they right before they brought me up, they were bad enough to begin with, but right before they brought, the social director came up because we all know Mrs. Bernstein. We knew she was in the hospital. I just got word that she's passed. Now let's bring up the comedy. How to acknowledge Mrs. Bernstein, but
this is that, Julia. This is another fun. I did Laugh Factory in New York, which was a huge club.
Yep.
I did a benefit for Israeli bomb victims. You can't even make this shit up. So it was all Jewish comics. I've never seen a worse show. It was a shiva. It was like everyone died on stage, and then people were mourning them. It's like they just one comic after the other died.
So they didn't clap; they just davened.
They didn't even do that. They were like this, like. So I had to go on, and I was enraged at that point because I saw how they treated all the comics.
Wow.
And they showed a video, same thing, of bomb victims, children, all these people in Israel.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
So I go on, and I was in the worst mood, and I look at this guy who's just staring at me. I go, "Sir, are you enjoying yourself at all? You look so miserable." And his wife yells out, "You're gonna die." His wife yells out, "He's blind. He can't see you." I
had that happen in the Poconos. I was just telling somebody.
I go, "Well, he can hear me."
Yeah, right.
And I make all kinds of voices, and she goes, "You're gonna die." He goes, "He's deaf too."
Eddie's
And I
bitter
looked
about
down.
it.
I swear to God, I looked down and he had no hands. He had hooks for hands.
Oh,
And I
my God.
Oh my
This is
God!
just the worst.
Oh Jesus God!
Wow.
And he's in the
Oh.
third row.
Wow.
Of course he
So
was.
I asked him to open my beer, and then I went on with my.
You know?
You know what's so great about this? This makes all
great.
the shitty Jersey one-nighters like Betty's Fireside. This is like, wow, okay, I'll go back to Betty's. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
It was
Oh my
really
God, that's
bad.
I
funny.
think the worst ones of those are like what I did. It wasn't for a horrible charity, but we did a show one time. It was me, Maureen Langan. I forgot who the other
I've
girls
done
were.
some with Maureen too, some doozies. Oh.
Yeah, and they said they said the show was at, let's say, 8. They said get there 2 hours ahead of time, and of course, you get there at 6, and they're like, "Why are you here so early?" You said and then and then the woman goes, "Okay, well, I'm sure you both have had this. We have a raffle." With all, like the secret auction. We're going to do the secret auction before the comedy show.
Which clears the room once it's over.
Right. So it's like, and I literally said to the woman who was in charge, I said, listen, I have to catch a train. And she literally goes, I don't care what you have to do.
and there's always like 50 baskets. There's at least 50.
And it's like, it's the word. Like, we have sausage and cheese with some ham. They just put them in.
So listen, so we got to talk about, one of the things I admire about you, Jess, because I admire you so much, but, on social media, you go after everybody. Like you, when people come after you, like I've always said this to my husband, nobody will block me. Like I have said the most offensive things to people, like in the GOP, and nobody like even responds to me. But I give you so much credit because when, you say things and sometimes it pisses people off. Mm-hmm. And you stand by you stand by what you're, and you go after them. I love the whole, Carol, Karen. I mean, like, I love that you do that.
Yeah,
Joanne,
I love that.
Yeah, yeah, and then and I love that your fans will come back and go, Trent.
Yeah,
Trent.
yeah.
They're so great. But let's tell the audience without giving too much, credo to what happened with you recently, because I can't believe they tried to cancel Jessica Kirson. Jessica is I can understand Ellen DeGeneres because I've heard stuff about her, but Jessie is one of the sweetest, kindest, funniest women, and that they tried to do this, and we as a community went, this shit isn't going to happen, and that's the difference between our community and new comics. Does that make sense?
Yes, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
I can explain exactly what happened.
Sure, please do.
First of all, I don't always go after people. It depends what kind of space I'm in. And I've also had like my sister and some people, when I've really gotten into it and gone, back and forth and back, like on Facebook, they're like, do you realize how stupid you look? And I've had to say, oh boy, you're right. Like, it's going on too long. It makes me look ridiculous that I keep fighting with this crazy person who I don't even know what they're like, who they are, what kind of problems they have, whatever. But when I'm accused of something I didn't do or, attacked, I can get really defensive. Yeah, and what happened was there was a video that was posted on Facebook. Make a long story short, my management also handles my social media stuff sometimes, just posting stuff for me and whatever. And this video got posted from 4 years ago as it was me doing an impression of a Black woman. It was her talking about Trump, how much she hates Trump. And people got upset about it on my site. Now that's been on my stuff, that was 4 years ago. So it was up on Facebook and YouTube, and I never heard one thing about it.
Right.
And it's different. If people had said, this is upsetting, I'd like to talk about it or whatever, some people knew me. Some of them were new comics who I had no idea who they were. But the messages were so attacking. It was like, there was a Black guy who's a comic who was upset about it, but he reposted it on his page. I saw, and it was like, this fucking bitch. I don't need to go into the whole thing, but it was the way he spoke about me was really like, why is this okay? And I totally understood where it could be offensive now with how times have changed and everyone getting upset and whatever. But I just felt like it was, I should have been approached differently about it. And because of that, I got defensive. I did get defensive. I took it down, but I went off on some people. And I posted on Twitter about that and something else. It's funny to me that it's a lot of times it's white girls or white women that get upset about stuff. And there was a Black comic from LA who's much younger, very new, I think. I had no idea who she was. She posted it on Twitter and said, actually, this is offensive. This is a racist video and it's offensive. If you need a Black person to tell you that, I'm here to tell you that it is offensive to Black people and I'm here for you anytime or something. And I was like, oh no, here we go. The second I saw it was posted, I was attacked. I mean, a tornado. Mm-hmm. And I kept saying, I'm not a racist. And they kept saying, yes, you are. Say you're a racist. I'm like, I'm not going to say it. I'm sorry. If I have to lose everything I've ever done, I'm willing to do that because I'm not going to say I'm something I'm not. I'm not doing it. Right. I said, I understand why it might be offensive to people at this point, and I'm willing to talk about it. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to read a book. I am not willing to be spoken to like I'm a piece of shit. I will not respond to you if you're being abusive or, who are you? Like not her, but all these random people that were like, you're this, you're a piece of shit. You should get canceled. You should lose everything you have. And I was so freaked out by it because I really have, like both of you, I've spent 21 years on my reputation, like trying to at least do the right thing. Now, the one thing I can say is I'm flighty. Sometimes I don't get back to people. I'm very irresponsible that way sometimes. I mean, that's as much as I can own because anything else I've done is never to hurt anyone ever, especially with my art.
Right. Well, can I just jump in here?
Sure.
I mean, Jessica, you and I kind of share as, being members of the LGBT family. Mm-hmm. And, we've all heard the jokes, particularly trans jokes. And I've heard it within our own family. And it, mm-hmm. and I think those hurt most of all. But if somebody, let's reverse the situation. And somebody did an impression of a lesbian, for instance, or their idea of what a lesbian should sound like. Mm-hmm. How would that make you feel?
If this is me, I'm not saying everyone should be like me. If I really find that it's incredibly offensive and it's kind of like would help someone to say, mm-hmm. this might not be great. You may not know this, but this is very offensive. I would say it privately, but that's just me. I would contact them privately and say it. I also, even though I can't stand what so many comics say, and their point of view and the disgusting things, very concerned, like things that I just don't agree with. I still feel they have the right to say it. And I would never, ever say to silence someone, even though I want to. I believe in freedom of speech. And it's a big problem with comedy because we have to be able to say what we want. Where's the line?
I agree, and I think a lot of us are going through that internal discussion right now. It's either free speech or it's not. Other than the fact that you can't yell fire, that's goes without saying. But
no, I was just going to say the point that Jesse made is this was handled so badly because this should not have been done on social media.
Yes, I was just going to say, consider where it happened. It
could have been done on social media. I also I didn't feel great about the way, I always look at my part and I wish I had taken a second to just like understand what was happening and not respond. That's just, I would have handled it differently. But I was really shocked that a comic did that, especially one that was so much younger. And
touch with it. You're well known enough and have enough friends that somebody could have gotten to somebody that knows you to say, I'd like to talk to Jesse about this in person, instead of having this discussion over social media. And that's the biggest problem is it's like, then you get these people that come out of the fucking woodwork.
You can't have it. I'm just telling you, you can't. It happens.
You're right. You can't have a dialogue. You can't exchange opinions.
I've spoken to some people that have been can't, or people have tried to cancel them.
Right.
And it's the same thing. There's nothing you can say. You can keep saying, I'm sorry. You can keep saying, I'll look at it. I'll work on myself. They will keep calling you names, keep trying to ruin you. Not everyone, but there is a big group of them.
Right.
And what happened was not the entire, there was a couple of people who turned on me who I will never forget, and I will never even talk to them again. But 99% of the comics understood that, it might not have been the greatest video or whatever, but it was from 4 years ago. I haven't posted one with that character since.
Right.
And they felt that, even if they thought it was whatever it was, that I have a right to say it. And it's really dangerous because there's a couple things. First of all, I mean, it felt really nice that the comedy community came behind me and bid Jessica. Please, she's middle-aged, she's heavy, she's, a lesbian, she's Jewish. I am not the idle 25-year-old hot white girl. I mean, it's just a white guy, whatever it is. I'm not in the group. So, and I also make fun of white people more than anyone. I mean, it's all over. If you Google all my videos, I'm always like doing the white girl or the white guy, and I do characters.
You do, and the problem is that you shouldn't have to even defend that because you're a comedian. Like I think now, I think back to Pryor and Carlin would be canceled. People would be.
I know.
And Rickles, look at Don Rickles. I mean, he would be crucified right now, and he could not have been a nicer, kinder. I think the point we're trying to say here to everybody who's listening is calm the fuck down, okay? We are living in trying times, and if we can make you laugh, stop trying to tell us what we should fucking do with our act.
It's not going to work. I mean,
I
that's
know.
the thing. I've spoken to so many comics. I had to really make a decision at first I was like, oh my God, I can never do characters again. I'm never doing stand-up again. That's it.
Right.
What am I going to say? I can't believe I actually upset people. My whole goal is to make people laugh and happy and smile. And then it took me a minute and I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good girl.
I am.
I mean, well, it's basically what we're saying to you is people change the channel. If you don't like us, don't come see us.
Right.
That's all.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so funny. Somebody had posted this a while ago, and comics are so interesting because we could be playing and killing to 500 people, but there'll be that one person
that
hates us, and that's the one we zero in on.
That's mom or dad or
Right. Right. Yeah. And it's just like, you're right, Julia, change the channel. Not everyone, we're not going to be I remember years ago, Carlin used to do a joke. My girlfriend was very offended by it because he talked about raping the earth. And she didn't like the fact that he said raping. And I said, well, then don't watch him. Don't watch him when he does that bit.
But they think they have the power to have you not say it. That's the incredible part.
Yes.
They literally think that they can make me not say things. And I will do the opposite. I'm a comic. I'm a rebel. If you tell me not to do things, I'm going to do them more. The reason why I got into stand-up was to say what I want. I was silenced my entire life.
Yep.
My mother literally saw clients in the basement of our house, and I was not allowed to make noise. So I was always being told to be quiet. I was always, as a child, a lot of times, if you're happy, you're being too hyper. If you're down, you're dramatic. You're too sensitive. You're too this. So stand-up has been so freeing for me to just say what I want with a microphone. And I'm not going to now start not saying things because I upset, some girl who lives in Brooklyn who owns a beautiful apartment that her parents bought her and doesn't.
Well, I had this conversation with Carole a few weeks ago. Remember, I think I told you too about the black woman in Florida.
But this is a great story. Tell Jessica.
No, I don't know this. Yeah, I don't know this.
Okay. I was down in Florida working, and the show went great. Next morning, I'm having breakfast in the hotel. This lovely black woman comes over, older woman, about my age, maybe about my age, and says, I was at your show last night. I go, oh, did you have a good time? She said, no, my husband and I walked out. And I said, if I offended you, I'm sorry. She goes, no. Your lifestyle. You're an abomination before the Lord. She goes, I'm a reverend, I'm a pastor, and my husband's a bishop. Mm-hmm. Well, and like you, my first impulse was to go, well, you and your fucking bishop husband can go fuck yourself. Instead, I invited her to sit down and have breakfast with me because,
Wow, that's beautiful.
well, that's what Jesus would do.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but he's familiar.
But we covered a lot of ground. And one of the things I said to her, I says, how could you as a black woman, after all your people have been through, be prejudiced against someone because of what they are? How could you? I don't understand that. Explain it to me. And she couldn't. And so what I'm saying to you,
it's in the Bible. It's not, but anyway.
it's not in the Bible. But
I know.
what I'm saying to you is that, these people, you're never going to convince them. They're always going to be lurking in the bushes to attack you. So just, I know it's hard, but tune them out. You got to learn.
Yeah, and Jess, seriously, I'm so proud of you for I know the initial reaction was to go, I'm never doing this again. We need women like you. We need to show.
Yeah, we do. I
because
have to speak for the women who are coming up now, because it's really their goal is to have us not say, I mean, what are we going to talk about? Rainbows and fucking unicorn? I have no idea what's not offensive. What isn't offensive?
Well, even before this cancel culture, when I remember especially when I had my son when he was a baby, they would say, you shouldn't be talking about this stuff. You shouldn't be talking about sex because you're a mom. I said, well, how the fuck do you think I got pregnant, you moron? But when they see strong women, and this is the three of us are very strong women, and they see that, and we're so powerful in our words that they want to find any way to knock us down. Anyway,
especially with women.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like with guys, he's just a dick. He's difficult, whatever. But when we're powerful, it's really threatening.
Oh,
see, I haven't got there yet.
It's more threatening to women a lot of the time.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there as a trans woman, because I'm still working with trying to validate myself among cis women, and within the gay community too. So I'm still running up against those walls.
I get it.
And it's like, oh my God. And so I've kind of just said, all right, I don't care what you want to call me. I'm just me. Just let me be me. I feel
that way too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really do. The people don't know me. So they don't know what I've done or who I am or how I feel. Mm-hmm. Like I've always been very sensitive to transgender people because I've always felt very male. A lot of people would never know that. I mean, since I'm a tiny little kid, felt like I always was a tomboy. I didn't like wearing dresses, or I feel very male in certain ways. So it's just, and a lot of them are hypocrites. Like they'll complain about one thing, but then they're okay with another thing. And it's just so annoying.
And also the thing about the racist, the word racist is such a, it's such a shitty thing to say to somebody just because just because some person of color decided you were racist because they didn't like what you did. That doesn't make any sense to me. You want to call somebody racist. Let's talk about the president, or let's talk about, you know what I mean? Like,
that's the other point I didn't say before. I thank you for saying that. I kept saying, why are you going after me? I'm an ally. There's so many people who are racist, who hate black people. I mean, go find them. They're everywhere. Everywhere. Take this time you're wasting on me.
Right. Why waste?
I get it, because I get it from watching the video. If it's out of context, people are like, what is this woman doing? Like, I'm literally was acting out like nutty black woman. But then if I say, no, I didn't mean it that way from 4 years ago, it's okay. Like, go move on, go. But it did. Carole, you guys would not even believe, it was hundreds and hundreds of tweets and attacking. And then I swear it stopped. They went on to Nick Cannon.
It's a mob mentality.
Not that I'm comparing myself with Nick Cannon, but like it went on to something else.
Right.
Yeah.
And they left me alone.
Well, that's how it works. I mean, they once they stone you to death, they'll move on to the next victim.
Yeah, and we're not. Yeah.
Go ahead, Carole. No. That's,
my son's 28 now, and I think his generation is. Yeah, I'm really trying to teach him this. It's not black and white. So many people are gray. And that this generation is, black and white. This is it. She did this. She must be that. It's like, why don't you? The biggest problem that I think social media has now is It's just black and white. Nobody wants to
Very true.
discuss this
Because
stuff.
I'm not a racist, but I am uneducated on certain things. And that's why I wanted to have conversations with some Black women and men to find out what they think. And it taught me stuff. I understood why they were offended. But
Right.
to just say you're racist, that's it. No matter what you say, this is who you are and fuck you. I can't do that.
Right.
But the art of conversation, what we're doing right now is conversation. And,
Right.
and it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist on social media.
No.
It just doesn't.
No, and everyone's right, and nobody wants, that's one of the reasons why we started the show, is to have these conversations and to talk. We can all disagree on different things, but we have to start talking about it instead of just going, no, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad. It's like,
and I'm guilty of that too. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes when I know where a person stands, I get in my head, oh, they must be this, they must do that, they must be that. And, I got to be a little more understanding too of people's opinions. And it's not easy.
no,
It's very divided now.
No.
it's very divided. I actually have, I have finally gotten rid of pretty much anybody on social media that is, supporting, as I call him, El Duce. Because I just can't anymore. And
It's not easy. It's really,
I have a couple of really close friends that voted for him, and I really feel like I before it was like, let's give him a chance, but we have given enough chances to this guy that I just can't anymore. And especially and I know there were millions of other things before that, but the thing for me that the line was the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. If you can, I don't care that Bill Clinton did it, because if he did do it and there's proof, fucking fry that motherfucker too.
of course.
But you don't ever hear people talking about, like, they always say, well, Clinton's there. I said, okay, well, what about your guy? And that really just, I'm done. Like, my husband plays softball with a bunch of guys that are very right, and I'm done with them. I can't even talk to them anymore because I'm like, no, you.
I say,
I think,
one thing to be a Republican or a Democrat, but if you think, and I say this on stage, if you think that Trump is funny and just says what's on his mind and he's like a comedian, I say your father abused your mother and you never dealt with it.
Wow.
And I really feel like he's the drunk. This is literally how I feel. I didn't have this experience. I had other experience, but I do feel like it's like he's the drunk father that's abusive, and you never know what kind of mood he's going to be in. You're always walking on eggshells, and you just want to keep giving him liquor and making him happy so he's not
Wow.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And then you always have, oh, dad had a hard day. He didn't mean to hit mom. Dad had a hard day. He didn't mean to, not show up to this or not do that. And that's literally, I don't even blame him, because I think he's incredibly mentally ill.
Yes.
I really mean
Yes.
that. Not even in a funny way. I feel like everyone around him they're the ones.
Enabling.
Oh,
Yeah.
By the way,
I think he's going to. I'm sorry.
no, I just want to quickly. Lynette Palladino just said this to you, Jess. What a profound thing to say. I'm not a racist, but I'm uneducated about a lot of things. So true. If we start from a place of compassion and humanity, we could go a long way. That's to you. Yes, that's
Thank you, Lynette. I know her. I really mean that. I am uneducated. It's why I don't talk about a lot of things or get into certain conversations, because I don't know. And I ordered books on Amazon to learn more. People told me what kind of books to get. That's what I mean. I'm always willing to look at myself, but I'm not willing to be bullied.
absolutely good girl.
Nor should you be.
Yeah.
Nor
So,
should
Julia,
you be.
what were you going to say before I interrupted you? I apologize.
I don't remember. It's like there's a
I
train
think it
in
was
my
about
head.
the fish.
Everybody got on and left, and I don't remember what they were going to say. So
Okay, well, look, we're like, and you're not. We're already at 40 minutes, so before we're going to have to wrap up. I know we have so much fun.
You can't ask her the Cuomo question. Let's ask her. Well, let's. All right. Do you want to answer the Cuomo question?
No. What do another question?
We could use, like 3 lesbians or 3 trans people. I mean, let's do
that.
Let's be diverse.
Okay, be diverse.
What do you?
Right, normally, Jessica, we ask, which Cuomo would you sleep with? Andrew, Mario, or Chris? Right.
Andrew, Mario, or Chris?
Yeah. You don't have to answer
because I've slept with men in blackouts. Let me think.
By accident? By accident?
It's constantly by accident. Somehow it slipped in me. I don't know what happened. I was going to a club and then I was pregnant.
Okay, all right. So
no, I'm joking. I can say I would absolutely sleep with the one on TV.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris.
Okay.
Chris.
All right. Well, all right.
Oh, Chris. Okay.
Anne Heche, Ellen, or the one from Family Ties. What's her name?
Meredith Baxter.
Meredith Baxter. Okay. Anne Heche.
I don't know why this is making me laugh so.
Because it's supposed to.
Well, I know who would be third. It would be Ellen because I'm not into butchy. I find them beautiful, but that's not my type. So I like feminine women. But by the way, what I just said could have offended a lesbian. Just so you know, I can't handle it anymore.
I'm a straight woman. I'm very offended. All right, she's done. She's done.
So I think it would probably be Meredith Baxter, who I've met, who's beautiful, then Anne Heche, and then Ellen.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know who. I think I would probably go with Anne Heche because I tend to gravitate towards the crazy a little bit.
I knew you were going to say it. I thought of that too, but I can't. Yeah.
It'd be like sleeping with James Woods, you know.
Yeah. I'd rather sleep with a goat riddled with corona than
James Woods.
I'd rather have corona put in every hole in my body.
He's got that sort of
my nose.
Yeah, he's got that smugness that Trump has. That you just want to just
earth.
Take a grapefruit and just sort of like Jimmy Cagney, you know, make like him.
And I'm just going to put out that I would sleep with Hugh Jackman. I'm just going to put it out there that I would.
I would sleep with him too. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
It'd be out of vagina. Yeah.
You don't know.
I love you.
You know what? You don't know. He's a very, very. He's very in touch with his feminine side. My husband works on Broadway, and he's met him a bunch of times, and they've met enough that like when Hugh sees him, he hugs him. And this is what my husband will say to me: "Oh, he smells so good, Carole."
I'll bet.
Oh, that's hysterical.
He fucking taunts me. He smells so good. I'm like, fuck you.
And I felt something down there. He was really excited to see me.
I got to share this with you. I did a show about a year ago. It was I won't say where, but Jim Dale was. Remember Jim Dale Barnum?
Mm-hmm.
He was there, and I sat with him, right? And I remember him from Barnum. Now he's an old guy, but I mean. And I'm telling you, everything was moving on me. I'm not usually attracted to men, but that is one sexy man. And he had his arm around me, and we're sitting in a corner booth. I'm like, I'd blow this guy right here, right in the restaurant, right now. I don't even know why. The guy's like 70 years old. I don't care. He's so
well,
sexy.
Could he have gotten you a gig?
What do you got? No, I don't think that.
Listen, I'm so thirsty for a barn gig right now.
God.
I know you're God. That you know what we would.
No, I would blow him to do Radio City right now. But that's it.
Chris Christie?
Have to be the Beacon or Radio
City. All right, so we got to shift this up then. Who would you blow?
Money.
All right, so who would you blow for a premium gig? All right, so who would you blow, Carole?
Who would I? Why is it always me? Who would I?
We know who.
We could give her some people to choose from.
Who would I blow for?
Okay, I have to choose from.
It has to be somebody repulsive.
Yeah,
okay.
Bill Barr,
Bill
Barr, Rudy Giuliani, or who's the Secretary of Education?
Oh, who's the what?
Or Betsy DeVos? I would eat her pussy before I would put Giuliani or Barr's dick in my mouth. And there it is. I'm just saying. Okay.
Wow, this is a whole new direction for this show. We have not.
I would blow Rudy.
Really? Oh my God! Oh Jesus God! Really?
No. Yeah, with her, no, I could just stick a pencil in her head and whatever.
Julia, quick! We only have a couple of minutes.
Who would I blow?
Yeah, who would you blow?
Well,
Those three people. Those three
Out of
people.
those three people,
Chris Christie, Willie Giuliani, or Betsy DeVos.
I'd have to say Betsy DeVos because
Oh, there you go.
I'd have to. I couldn't take. Because then my dream about having died on the operating table and going to hell would actually have come true. I would be
Wow.
blowing the devil himself.
I mean, Bill Barr is really, it's bad.
Oh, I don't even know if you could find his penis from all
No,
this.
there's probably like vines and coconuts. I don't even know. It's like a
Bill Barr's
forest.
he's like Bizarro Nathan Lane. He's like evil Nathan Lane. Like
Evil
if
Nathan Lane.
He always has a smirk. That
he
smirk
does.
is
I
the
hate that
worst. There's
smirk.
nothing worse than a smirk on an evil.
Oh, wipe that smirk right off his face.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, I'm sorry.
All right, ladies. Let me just plug everyone's. Julia, do you have your CD
I
right
happen
there?
to have it right here, and my movie, the Julia Scotti Funny That Way, the documentary, is going to be available for one night at the Bentonville Film Festival. It's going to be available nationwide, and I would be. And if you go to the Bentonville Film Festival, there's only selling 400 tickets, and then it stops.
It's an amazing movie, Jess. I mean, I saw it.
Dynasty.
I cried. It was amazing. Now, Jess, please plug your special. Plug whatever you want. What are you going to do?
Parking lots all over the tri-state area. If anyone wants to see me, I'll be performing right outside the Lincoln Tunnel next Tuesday at 11 o'clock a.m.
That's awesome.
I have I have my podcast, Relatively Sane.
Yep.
And that you can find anywhere. And then I have Instagram, Jessie Kirson, Twitter, Jessica Kirson, and I'll be putting up dates soon for outside shows and Zoom shows.
Great. Thank you again, Jess.
I love you both.
I love you too.
I
And anytime.
love you so much. I really love you both. And I'm sending you a big
I'm so
hug.
glad I finally got to get to know you a little bit.
Me too. You're brilliant.
Yeah.
You're brilliant women, and I'm just glad to see you. It makes me feel good to even just talk to you.
Yeah, and just be that tough girl, because we will all hold you on our shoulders too, because
Carole,
we think you're the best. Okay, so be safe, everybody out there, and Jess, I'll send you the link.
Great.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Bye.
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 Bye.